I'm Tater Ferone, and welcome to Port Taylor's Round 1 Summary. 5 years have passed here in Port Taylor. The residents of Port Taylor began their new lives here at the very end of summertime, and we joined them for the next 4 years during the season of fall. During this time, Port Taylor was able to unlock the bus terminal, bringing in 20 more townies, which will give Port Taylor a better chance at growing as more time passes. A life was lost, but 7 more were started, so growth is still on the right track. Port Taylor unfortunately became plagued with what one of my subscribers referred to as the disgusted look epidemic, which has yet to be cured despite the town's efforts. Life went on anyways, so let's see what our Sims were up to and how much Port Taylor has grown so far. The Westbrook household. Sierra Westbrook started founding the new town of Port Taylor as the mayor by hosting a meet and greet for all the other founders. But she quickly found that she wasn't a very popular mayor, as she only really hit it off initially with founder Miles Bagley. He took out a loan of $44.6K so she could open Port Taylor Town Hall and hired townie Joshua Glazier to be cashier. Port Taylor Town Hall was tormented by Chuck Raha, the atrociously evil warlock, as with several other businesses, as he made it his mission to bring on the downfall of the new town of Port Taylor. But Sierra persevered, as she was determined to see Port Taylor one day thrive. Sierra was spotted having a brief fling with Miles Bagley as she goosed him at the grocery store. How far they went after that, unknown. Once fall arrived, Sierra won a $6K lottery prize, which all went into her loan. That same day, she went back to work, but the sign out front was still burning thanks to Chuck Raha's lightning spell. The fire spread too quickly as Sierra attempted to extinguish it alone, and she unfortunately did not survive the fire. Word of Sierra's passing got to her dear twin brother Savion, who abandoned his old life in SimCity to take over Port Taylor as its new mayor, determined to run it the way he knew Sierra would have wanted, and paying off the rest of his sister's loan for her with whatever money he was able to bring with him. He became a popular mayor and ranked up Port Taylor Town Hall quickly, even reaching rank 6. Thanks to all his hard work and a loan of $10K, he was able to purchase both a bus terminal and Port Taylor's first park. It is rumored that Savion removed Sierra's grave from the cemetery and has his sister's remains stashed in an urn in an unknown place in his home. The Bagley household. Miles Bagley moved to the new town of Port Taylor, hoping to bring some fun by opening an arcade and increasing the quality of life. His childhood friend, Elle Winfield, moved in with him and decided to open a thrift store. Miles took out a loan of $40K to open his arcade, Blue Planet, which was only able to rank up to 2. Elle didn't open Winfield General until a year later, but required no loan since the same year the household won the jackpot, their $250K prize, making them the richest Sims in Port Taylor. They both celebrated their new wealth with a woohoo, which is how they fell in love. Later that year, Elle proposed to Miles, and the two of them got married the following year. That same year, Elle got Winfield General to rank 2, and the newly married couple tried for baby. The first try was unsuccessful, but the second try resulted in twin girls named Jillian and Rita Bagley. Miles and Elle ended their 4th fall in Port Taylor by finally having their first date at home, almost making it to dream date status. Tax day came, and they paid $21.7K to Mayor Savion Westbrook. The Mullins-Devereaux-Hooper household. As a sim into cuisine and things of that nature, Joel Mullins was recruited to live in Port Taylor as the owner of a much-needed grocery store, so he took out a loan of $30K to purchase fresh take, which ended up later reaching rank 4, but now without taking far too many breaks on his beloved bench out front. Townie Abby Hooper was hired as cashier, and the two were drawn to each other and hit it off really well. It was rumored that the produce being sold at Fresh Take had bugs in them, but business went strong as the rumors were cleared. As fall began, townie Emmett Devereaux showed up on his doorstep in search of a home in Port Taylor. So Joel invited him to move in with him, Emmett bringing in $10K with him and quitting his job as a bagman in the criminal career track to start his new life in Port Taylor. Emmett briefly got into bug catching, but later ditched that hobby as he found his true passion in floor arrangements. Emmett befriended founder Lila Nichols with the intention of having someone to pull silly pranks on, but Lila had different ideas of fun that resulted in a love triangle. Whether or not Emmett is aware of Lila's cheating is unknown. They had 2 dream dates at home, resulting in them falling in love and Lila shockingly saying yes to Emmett's proposal. Joel found love too, as he and Abby had woohoo together, and she moved in with them as she became pregnant with Joel's child, later giving birth to a baby girl named Femi Mullins. Emmett celebrated his last day being part of the household by throwing a house party, inviting too many Sims. But everyone had a great time despite being forced to witness Joel and Abby woohooing on the couch as soon as the party started. Taxes were due and the household owed $4.2K, and Joel was also able to pay off his loan. The Nichols-Ray household. Lila Nichols moved to the new town of Port Taylor to bring fashion in the form of her clothing store, Pedestrian Pink, which she had to take out a loan of $50K to purchase, and also hired townie Lisa Porter as cashier. Her childhood friend Caden Ray wasn't ready to say goodbye to her, so he tagged along, but all he did initially was burn every meal he prepared for them, but that later inspired him to step up his game and study the culinary arts, quickly reaching cooking level 5 and making him the best cook in Port Taylor. In the heat of the moment, Caden and Lila had woohoo and entered a relationship, only for Lila to later enter another with fellow citizen Emmett Devereaux, Caden having yet to find out about his lover's cheating. Lila ended up getting pregnant by Caden and later gave birth to Port Taylor's first baby, Skylar Ray. Caden was hired to work at Winfield General, which led to Emmett Devereaux becoming Skylar's babysitter, and all three members of the love triangle being in the same house when work was over. Lila and Emmett played it cool, their secret remaining kept and unknown to Caden. Skylar aged up to toddler and became very invested in his toy blocks, usually choosing it over his other toys. In the end, Pedestrian Pink reached rank 5, which helped Lila pay off her loan, and they owed $5.8K in tax. The Stephens-Ferone household. Hollis Stephens and her boyfriend Richie Ferron moved to Port Taylor with their pets Bruiser, Honey, Ludo, Leo, Brownie, and Nana to run an animal foster home for those who need pet companions, but no one has yet wanted to adopt from them. Hollis took out a loan of $25K to purchase her pet store, Hollis Pets, to help fund the foster home. Richie stayed at home and was constantly caring for all the animals, rarely having any time to himself. It was a very chaotic 5 years due to all the animals. There were lots of noise, pet fights, and never-ending pee puddles, but still plenty of love, cuteness, and grilled cheese to go around. After losing a bet, Hollis had to wear a pink gorilla costume everywhere she went for the next 3 years, which was a very interesting way to introduce herself to visitors of Port Taylor. Business at Hollis Pet started off smoothly, especially once townie Kimber White was hired as restocker, but began plummeting as his cashier, townie Gracelyn Brent, started slacking at work, causing multiple tantrums and the business rank to drop from 4 to 3. Hollis stayed late at work, her hard work and determination getting their rank back to 4 in the end. She was able to pay off her loan, and they sent their $2.9K tax to Mayor Savion Westbrook. I did not make a chart for the households because there's no growth in the households just yet. We started off with 5 and we still have 5 currently. Here is Port Taylor's round 1 population growth chart. At the very start, we just had 8 starting residents, but by the end of round 1 we had 1 death, but we had 3 new move-ins and 4 births, making the population 14. Now we can go into detail about the births, deaths, and move-ins for round 1. There were 4 Sims born in round 1. Currently there is only 3 pictured because I've limited to 3 Sims per photo, so they'll fit better. Skylar Ray was born in round 1, rotation 1. Twin sisters Jillian Bagley and Rita Bagley were born round 1, rotation 4. And finally, Femi Mullins was born round 1, rotation 4. We only had 1 Sim age up in round 1, and it was Skylar Ray in round 1, rotation 3. He aged up from a baby to a toddler. We had 3 new Sims move into Port Taylor for round 1. Savion Westbrook moved in round 1, rotation 1 to replace his sister as mayor when she passed away. Because of ROS, Emmett Devereaux moved in round 1, rotation 1. And because of a pregnancy, Abby Hooper moved in round 1, rotation 3. Unfortunately, Sierra Westbrook passed away in round 1, rotation 1, so we only got to have her in Port Taylor for just 1 year. This is the population age chart for Port Taylor round 1. We can see that there are 3 babies, 1 toddler, and 10 adults. As we can see with the Texas chart, the Bagley household paid the biggest of 21.7K simoleons. The Nichols-Ray household paid the second biggest with 5.8K simoleons. The Mullins-Devereaux-Hooper household paid the third biggest with 4.2K simoleons. And the Stephens-Ferron household paid the smallest of 2.9K simoleons. Altogether, the taxes collected was 34.6K simoleons. Port Taylor started off with only 11 lots, but now Port Taylor has 13. The new lots are lot number 1, Port Taylor Cemetery, and lot number 4, Port Taylor Park. The lots Port Taylor already started off with were lot 2, Blue Planet, lot 3, Port Taylor Town Hall, lot 5, Pedestrian Pink, lot 6, Hollis Pets, lot 7, Winfield General, lot 8, Fresh Take, lot 9, the Nichols Ray Household, lot 10, the Mullins Devereaux Hooper Household, lot 11, the Bagley Household, lot 12, the Westbrook Household, and lot 13, the Stephens Ferron Household. So with that said, you can see that we have 5 residential lots and 8 community lots. Of those 8 community lots, 6 of them are businesses, and 2 of them are just regular community lots. And technically, lot 13, the Stephens Ferron household, does count as an institution. So I'm gonna have to remember to have Savion pay the Stephens Ferron household for having the animal foster home. That is it for Port Taylor's Round 1 summary. Thank you guys so much for joining me during Round 1. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe so you know when to join us again for Round 2. Bye!